I thought the strongest part was the COBOL. I think Unilever could have been used a lot more effectively than it was. To your point, Adrian, about Vodafone, yeah, it was quite short, but I would have loved to see with both of the customers more of an embodying of how they're using ePrint, like one new level, not just saying that they were using Blueprint.
It talks about path to the autonomous enterprise, and then you don't quite see a path or a vision being told or articulated. I'm left a little bit wanting. The line from the legacy transformation around how you can take that COBOL application and you can create a video and with a bit of narration, and then you can ingest it and then try and create something on a modern kind of platform. There's a big key to kind of legacy transformation. But unfortunately, I don't feel like that story came out.
When people start using this transformation stuff, and then all they're really talking about is, I want to clean up some old COBOL code and get it and understand what's in it so I can maybe write a new application that does a better job of what the old one did. I think that's a real misuse of the transformation term. That's a replatforming is what that really is. Where's the radical rethinking? I guess I would say I was left wanting on that point. And I don't know where that fits in, because these tools interrogated probably a 50-year-old COBOL app and basically gave you a mobile version of a 50-year-old mobile app. An opportunity here that just got missed to really paint what the real capabilities could be all about.
It was a tech keynote, and there was no question about that. The next phase of their corporate narrative, so to speak, is autonomous service. And that is where they theoretically have been going. There was nothing to that effect. The product itself, the Blueprint product, remains my favorite product. The customer examples, Unilever, I just lost me completely. I didn't even understand what the guy was. I understood what he was saying. I didn't understand what he meant. And Vodafone, I saw it from the left brain, so to speak. Here's results we get operationally from using Blueprint. And that was helpful. But again, not much to it. The best part of this whole thing was Alan, really, when it boiled down to it. And to Alan Bergson's point about his storytelling, it was great. But then again, he is that. So on the whole, I appreciate what I saw. I don't think they quite pulled off what they needed to. Ultimately, if you're making a claim, you can say anything you want, but be prepared to defend everything you say. And they just weren't. They didn't say anything wrong. They just didn't accomplish what they supposedly were setting out to accomplish. Yeah.
The most unique part of this compared to like all the other events we've gone to, and I think it kind of got stepped on because there's so many people, everybody's kind of talking about, oh man, they're taking COBOL, and it was actually it was a video of some dude illustrating what was going on with the COBOL program, and they ingested the video, and it kicked off part of that process. I thought that was really the thing that stuck to me the most. I mean, we were at ServiceNow a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about the partnership with NVIDIA to be able to take PDFs and kind of do a similar thing. All this kind of data can come in PDFs. They get video of somebody doing a talk about this COBOL program, and they're able to take a video of that. I really thought that was really impressive. And when they just announced Blueprint just a year ago, I was there. I did a little demo of doing my first Blueprint to see how that's progressed. And once again, they do a really good job. And it's really Alan, but it's all the others of kind of taking all the stuff that they built their foundation on, the layer cake approach, the center out approach, and now all the stuff they're doing kind of with the Blueprint as their foundation. You could see how all the things that they've built over the years have led up to this moment, and how they're still relevant, and they're still able to kind of talk that. So it doesn't feel like last year was a one story, and then this year is a completely different story because everybody is talking about one thing. You can literally see, if you've been here for a couple of years, how everything they've done is applied and helps them get to this next level. And I think that's, unfortunately, I think that might have got lost in some of the stuff that we're talking about. I think the Unilever part could have been, I think they really could have hit a home run with that if it was done a little differently.
The missing X factor is, so what does this mean to me as a customer? Am I going to use this tool to rebuild old applications, or am I using it to discover new opportunities to do really cool, transformative things? If the keynote had been structured more along the lines of, if you're a customer and you have this kind of a problem, here's how our tool sets have evolved to make that even less painless than ever before. And if you have this problem, here's a different way to look at it and use the tools. In the Unilever deal, it was not clear to me exactly what they were solving for,
Right.
and therefore why this technology was so purpose built almost, for knocking that out of the park. They had a great opportunity, and I think somewhere down the line, the messaging got muddled up. We're not complaining about the technology. It's just the messaging and the methods they used to present it.
There was an opportunity, too, to talk about how you use Blueprint as the foundation to scale your knowledge of the business and really deliver more, sort of creating that new career for you as a digital transformation expert based on your knowledge of code. That could have been a way to make people feel a lot more excited about the opportunity for them as part of that Pega community that they missed.
At a lot of these events, keynotes, opening keynotes, there's a partner, a strategic partner, where I keep going back to Oracle, where they had AWS on full, and you see how, because this is such a big thing, we understand we can't do it alone, and there's at least a portion of it that's dedicated to how we work with other enterprise software companies, because we know that you have other applications. We want to how we're working with it, and it's usually the kind of the mid-market enterprise players that don't seem to bake that part into the keynote, what I think is really important.
Take a look at every company they were basically calling strategic was a consulting company. They weren't thinking for ecosystem partners. They were thinking for basically monetary partners with practices. Look, this is a really good company, okay? And I really, really appreciate how they think about things. I think they'd be a hell of a lot bigger than $1 billion, or whatever. That's roughly their revenue ratio, if they do these things. I always feel a little bit of frustration with them because of that. I want them to do really well. I just think they miss these things.
Their expertise in process automation and workflow stuff is exemplary, and they have used their some of their key partners to get them into some massive accounts. But to make it go broader, I think they're going to have to do more and embrace different kinds of partners who can move them into other spaces and sectors.